Hello, everybody, and welcome to our commentary of Quest for Camelot from 1998.
Oh boy.
Okay, see everybody. Back in the 90s, everybody was trying to tackle against Disney. How, you mean? By trying to do animated musicals. Even Don
Basically
Bluth.
ripping them off to the core.
Even Don Bluth, even Don Bluth, even though he made a career on more traditional animated films, he still eventually ended up falling into that trap. However, here's
Most
a big
of them ended in failure. Most of them ended in failure, not just because of their quality, but the fact that Disney caught on to this boy. So what did they do? They re-released certain movies of theirs in theaters, to the point where when Swan Princess dared to show its face, Disney released at the time their highest-grossing film of all time, Lion King, conveniently around the time.
That's a topic for another day. For this case, like Pedro was mentioning, no one was trying better to rip off Disney than their major competitor, Warner Brothers.
Which is interesting because right after this, they released The Iron Giant, which was a natural movie that had an identity for itself. But the thing is...
But that flopped too.
But allow me to remind everybody, this was 1998. By this point, the Disney musical thing was kind of starting to die out in popularity, and it would take up until Tangled to get rolling again. So
I mean, that's not to say Disney didn't have their musicals still, but yeah.
I mean in popularity.
The solution was making a film about Camelot, in this case, Quest for Camelot. Unfortunately, it turned out as well as the other films did, i.e. not well at all.
Mostly because it barely follows the actual mythology of the King Arthurian legends.
Anyway, more once we'll start. Yeah. What is the logo? I guess
Warner Brothers logo. So soon in, right before the Warner Brothers logo, you should be in sync with us. So 3, 2, 1, click. Like I was saying,
this out of all the diet. Hold on, let me finish, Strips. Out of all the diet Disney films, as people like to jokingly call films like this, I will say this is one of the more noble failures, in the sense that it's the closest one to be.
It has great music. I'll give it that.
I'd take this over The King and I every single day, because that one is just
I agree.
Bad.
I agree.
But get this, the cast of this movie is peculiar, to say the least.
It's Gary Oldman.
Yes, they got a stellar cast to play
and
this.
We just wasted it. There's even Urkel in this movie.
Why Urkel?
White.
I mean,
because Urkel was popular.
I guess because at this point Sonic Unleashed had already finished and he needed work. Sonic Underground. Sorry,
Julia, you're telling me? Oh, this just in, Sonic fans. You've been thinking it all wrong. You see, Julia White was involved in Sonic Unleashed as early as 1998.
You know what's funny?
Yes.
Yeah.
19 years later, Warner Brothers would try once again to try and make a franchise out of the King Arthur mythology.
Not just that, Wibbs. You know a movie has problems when the funky Monty Python and the Holy Grail movie is more true to the Arthurian mythology than this movie is.
You got problems when Guy Ritchie has a better handle on it than you.
Let's start this off, folks. This is the Camelot movie where King Arthur is not one of the main characters.
So King Arthur is literally the sir not appearing in this title.
Basically.
No.
The mythology is named after him.
Actually, Tio, he does show up in this movie. He's just
for like 10 seconds.
Now, keep in mind, Disney's Sword in the Stone followed a similar idea and showcase something that was completely different from the standard Arthurian cycle and try to do their spin on it.
As is typical of Disney.
What Warner Bros. Tried to do with this is bizarre.
Another thing that I really don't understand about Warner, I mean, the Iron Giant didn't have this problem, so I really don't wonder, because the overall animation and the overall character designs all looks very bland and devoid of personality to me, which is baffling considering Warner Bros. Should have more of a budget to hire more talented animators than this.
The problem is that the budget of this movie was 40 million. Like, it's not even that much.
See, the thing with this movie is like, well, this movie feels like kind of, let's just say, a C-grade student. Someone who definitely has huge bursts of time when you can tell they're actually trying, but then there's the times when it feels like they're not trying. That's the best way to describe the animation in this film. Like, it has a lot of good moments, some of which were actually revolutionary for the time of animation, and then it just stoops down to being your typical cartoon TV show animation.
And together we built the greatest kingdom on earth.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah. there
About that, the Romans may disagree with you.
you go. Actually, it's funny, Jova. So, remember that was that early 2000 live-action movie that pretends that the Arthurian Cycle starts with the
Okay.
Roman Empire.
Oh, whoa,
those
God!
faces.
Oh,
Are
You
we
see
doing
what
the
I mean?
Irish jig now?
The
Oh,
animation in
please.
this movie looks like come
Again,
out of
I
a.
can tell you that there's a lot of rotoscope in this.
Again. It's so inconsistent. Like, well, just a few seconds ago, the animation on most people's faces are fine, but then there's that one girl who looks like a doll.
I mean, if this was a lower budget studio, one of those, not part of, but this is Warner Bros. Animation. They should have
Also,
the
I must go now. My planet needs
Just
me.
that, you know who's voicing that the father of our protagonist? Gabriel Byrne.
why.
Not just, and that's the thing. Gabriel Byrne is notorious for playing villainous character. What is he doing here for this role?
Well, you see, Tio, we got one of the few actors who's
yeah,
even
that's
more
one.
stereotypical villainous than
That
him in
face,
this
well.
movie.
Yeah, sure.
We're gonna have that line now. Yeah. No.
It's the Dark Ages, so you better move on.
At the time, women were only allowed to, be housewives. Sorry, honey.
Yeah.
I guess you could try to move on.
Has the title of the film come up yet, so we can draw roll
Yes.
credits?
Now, yeah.
There we are. Quest for Camelot.
So,
Do you need the time waves?
Yeah, I think you're behind. I think you're behind.
No. I'm okay now.
Sure. All right.
All right. Score composed by Patrick Doyle.
Patrick, why?
Patrick Doyle.
Like that's the sad part.
I
These
guess that
initial
explains why the
songs
music is
compared-
good for this.
these
Well,
initial
it's a
songs
British
not even
legend,
that
so British composer, I guess.
Like
Yeah,
aside from the
yes.
eventual lyrics will come up, the instrumental of this song is not even that bad.
No. There's one thing
Like I
about
said,
this
the
movie
music
that's
of
great
this
is the
movie
music.
is phenomenal.
Yeah, the music is actually
Based on
pretty
the
great.
novel The King's Damsel
The
by Barrett
problems-
Chapman. I need to
I'm sorry.
Problem is
Is
everything else.
There is
I'm
one
sorry.
paradox regarding the music, though. The songs are great, but as I'm going to point out later, they're completely and utterly pointless.
Holy shit, this is actually based on a book which is pretty much a Arthurian Cycle fanfiction.
So wait. So you're telling me that this is based off of a book that's not even part of the actual
Nope,
Camelot
because
series?
it's a book that was made
Hey, guys,
in
hey, guys.
1976.
Hey guys, divided we fall. United we stand, divided we fall.
Yeah,
Again,
sure.
this is a good song, and it does a good job actually setting the pace up. And oh my god, that frame rate!
What
of
the?
animation.
Did the movie just lag?
Yeah, I thought that was my.
No.
for a
I just
second.
noticed. The knights in the foreground were lagging, whereas the people in the background were moving at normal speed.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought my iPhone was lagging, but no.
What
see what I
the
mean?
fuck is up with this animation?
You see what I mean about this animation? It's so inconsistent in quality. Some bouts are good, some bouts are bad. Oh, hi, King Arthur.
Also, Jova,
There you
you
go,
think Arthur appears,
there you go,
doesn't
King
appear
Arthur.
much in this? No, you think that King Arthur doesn't appear this much in this movie? Merlin is even worse.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Jova,
Oh, yeah,
the King
that's right,
Arthur is
Merlin's in this
played by Pierce
Gee,
Brosnan,
I
right?
wonder who the villain is.
Jova, if I remember correctly, King Arthur is played by Pierce Brosnan, right?
Yes.
Yep, he is. Who's also known for playing some villainous roles, although to be fair, he
Well,
also
I'll
takes
give him
fun.
this. He sings better
Pierce
in this
Brosnan was
movie than he
James
does in Mamma
Bond,
Mia.
So
Hey, yeah, that's a good point.
Actually, I think they
Oh, wait, no,
use,
he
I think
probably
they
had
use
a
singing
dub,
doubles.
Oh, really?
Let's
And
verify
also,
that.
if I'm going to be
Hold on.
honest, I think this is a better film that Pierce Brosnan was in than The World Was Not Enough.
I agree. So,
also,
anyway.
I'll say that the Knights of the Round Table, who each of them has a very clear, should have a clear personality and appearance, they're completely bland slates.
Except for this guy,
No,
played
no
by Gary
Lancelot,
Oldman.
no Galahad, not Percival. Seriously.
So King Arthur is not
Wait.
so wise, apparently, since he just allowed this
He just allowed this guy to come
Yeah.
in.
clearly
how did
evil
this-
guy to join the white.
Not
whatever.
just that, again, this guy is clearly... Also, what is wrong with his fingers, nails?
And he's
Jesus.
played by Gary Oldman because Gary Oldman was. This was a bad year for Gary Oldman, let's just say.
Oh yeah,
was also in Lost in Space.
Space.
Where he also played another obvious villain.
Wow,
You know-
that didn't take long.
You know, this is a story based off of Camelot. Wouldn't it have been so easy to make it that this guy is just a knight who started off good but fell from grace but had good intentions? Like, you know, I mean, it's cliched, but it's something that could work for a Camelot story if you're trying to be original. Do we really just have to make him blatantly evil? Because it just makes us question why the hell did they let this guy in?
So I have a question.
Everyone.
Wait. Did he get stabbed or something? I don't remember. I don't remember seeing it.
No, they hit his sword. He hit his sword. Did it knock him out?
He got knocked out.
Basically, yeah, he got knocked on the hilt with the sword. And
he died of Disney parent illness.
Not just that, like the Knights of the Round Table, the most fearsome, brave warriors of the entire realm could not stop an injured guy from.
I mean, at least Disney.
Away.
At least Disney has the balls to show how the parent dies.
But Teal, that's
already the first 5 minutes, pretty much, and we already destroyed everything that makes the Arthurian Cycle strong on its own.
But Teal, that's because we haven't yet introduced the plot device that can heal anything. And yes, this movie has one of those.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm coming up a bit before this, but our protagonist here, this little girl, she's a Mary Sue, pure and simple.
Not just that,
yeah, I wouldn't call her a Mary Sue. In fact, if anything, she's kind of the opposite.
Think about it, Jova. It's a self-insert character who will get all the good.
Yeah, Sir Lionel was my most recent knight because apparently Lancelot doesn't exist.
I'll get back to this
spots.
later, Jova. But point being, yeah, like Fedor said, again, where are the other knights? Where's Palinor?
I love how Katie's that's her name, right?
are.
Katie. Her name is Katie, right? Or Kaylee? Kaylee. I love how Kaylee's reaction to her father being is no, and that's it.
What? No. Also, Fedor, you watch too much Yokai Watch.
I wish I was watching Yokai Watch right now.
Oh God.
Okay, here's the big problem.
And muted.
Oh, actually, no. I guess I think now we're gonna cut away to On My Father's Wings. I think.
Do they? I think I've seen this film before. The problem is that this film uses the songs in the wrong.
What's up with your face?
And also, her hair
Hi,
wasn't she?
Belle.
Oh,
Yeah. Her design is a ripoff of Belle. We all know this.
Why
But
in her reflection the hair were black while she's red?
Oh,
Or
basically,
brunette.
I guess her hair lightened.
So this is On My Father's Wings. It's actually a pretty decent I Want More song.
In fact, I'll give it this. It actually could hold a candle to some of Alan Menken's tunes.
I don't know. If it was used in the credits, I guess it would have been more tolerable for me.
Really? Wait. What's
In the
your
end
thing
credits, Jova.
What's your thing against songs like this? I mean, I know that there are a dime a dozen.
Remember,
but,
Jova, I'm not a fan of musicals in general, so
And
things
besides,
like this kind of rustle my jimmies by default.
And my page just said earlier, these songs are really pointless. You can
well,
either
hold on, it's going to become even more obvious later on. You'll see.
either because they're just making the same point that you could easily do a dialogue, or they're completely contradicted immediately
Also,
after
that-
Not just contradicted,
Really
outright
right.
ignored in some points, as I'm going to point out when we get to those points. But yeah.
Yeah, but I would not say that actually affects the quality of the music, though.
No.
The writing and story.
No. We're not. That doesn't change the fact that the songs are great. By all means, we're just saying that the way the movie uses them is absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it's gonna become even more apparent within the song after this one.
Well, you mean the villain one?
No, he
actually,
means the
there's another
prayer.
one.
He means
Okay,
the prayer.
2 songs from now, yeah.
The
Sorry.
prayer doesn't
I'm on-
come after this one.
Yeah,
Those
sorry,
are-
Jovas, I might be sick.
Honestly, I'm on mostly about the "Why You Can't Come With Me" song.
Oh, look at that chicken. That chicken is actually going to be important, believe it or not.
Yeah, well, it's still gonna be the one voiced by
Is that
Jaleel.
you
She's
know,
not going to be nearly as charming as the chicken from Moana, but
do they establish that the chicken has a motivation of constantly being abused, and that's why he's joining the
Yeah.
bad guys?
I think it's about
They
in
do,
this song.
actually.
He showcased occasionally that he's in love with the other
see,
chick.
the only problem is that like the choreography and the overall animation is so bland, and like it really hampers whatever impact this song is supposed to have in the movie.
How much did this film cost?
40 millions.
All right. So it was
Oh,
so it was about half the budget of a typical Disney film around this point. And how much did it gross?
There you
at the
go.
box office?
That's your motivation.
Goes to
Liz.
show how much faith Warner Brothers had in this project.
Yeah, how much did it make at the box office?
38.5, I think. No, 38.1.
Damn. So
Also,
basically,
that's
so with this and King Arthur: Legend of the Sword,
Yeah.
the moral of the story is
Yeah.
Warner Brothers should never try King Arthur.
No,
Seriously,
dudes. The moral is that they should
why is
actually
it
try
so old?
better.
Griffin.
Giant
Sure,
griffin
why
that comes
not?
out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's another problem this movie has. Stuff just happens out of nowhere way too often here.
Well, in this
There's
case,
not-
at least it's the beginning, so it's kind of establishing a bit.
Plus, there's
True.
not.
Matteo, I don't
plus-
remember there being creatures like this in whatever.
Actually, there are some stories of Camelot that do have the mystical creatures. It depends on
I
the
forgot
writer.
the name. Oh god, one of the lead character I think actually rides a rhino in the original Arthurian Cycle. So
Part of the course, I guess.
Fire everything.
wow, Camelot really sucks as a
Like,
capital.
we literally just got done having a speech about how
Nicola.
everything is going just fine, and then something just has to go wrong.
Oh yeah, and Merlin
Oh,
is
hi,
absolutely
Merlin.
pointless in this movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I love yeah, hold on. Okay.
So what's gonna happen?
Oh,
That ain't Falco.
is that
Oh.
Aiden from later?
I'm sorry, was
Yeah.
that the villain from Lawrence Hawk there?
No. It's the bird you see in every Assassin's Creed game.
That
I'm wondering if it was Aiden, aka what's the name of the blind dudes? The blind dude.
Yeah, it is. It is. I remember. The end of the movie
That's the-
kind of also showcase the they did
So-
was all according to plan thing.
The blind guy is the one played by Gary Oldman.
What are those things?
What are those?
Are you going to explain what the hell it's an enchanted fortress, I
Magic.
guess? But
Magic Forest,
it?
yeah.
To its credit, the movie does explain it. Problem is, it's a vague explanation. So, yeah, don't expect any heavy bits
and
of
it's one of the
lore.
very
Basically,
here we go.
Apparently,
One of the best lines.
and it's one of the very few explanations in the whole movie.
And you can just tell that from the sound of the horn.
Yeah, I
Yes.
guess it's a special horn procedure.
that's an oddly
is-
specific job.
Is the horn this universe uses for Morse code?
Probably.
What do you think that means?
Uh,
Okay.
I don't want a burrito.
Okay, that was actually funny.
Not
but
really.
I-
more like shows.
also, not just
Joe,
that. That
Joe,
line.
I'd appreciate it more if the film didn't just end up, embracing that stereotype.
Not just that,
What
Waves,
stereotype?
not just that, Waves, that line pretty much deconstructs the entire character of what Kaylee wants. She wants to be something she doesn't even know what it is.
Not just that,
Oh, no,
but-
wait. I was talking about the line where she's wondering what a damsel is.
Yeah,
That's exactly what
I
I'm
mean.
saying. What we're saying. The problem is, Job. It's two things. One, what are you, stupid? You don't know what a damsel is? That's common
Especially
knowledge.
considering all
Second,
these years when you wanted to know about the knights and shit.
second problem, as Debs just foreshadowed, she's gonna eventually become a damsel in distress later in the movie. So that's
Granted, I mean, I guess it makes sense she doesn't know what a damsel is, since that's not common amongst the ladies,
okay.
you know?
Okay, I'm not sure whether it's me playing my iPhone, playing this for a TV, but is it me or is the picture quality of this film not that good?
no.
That's
The
probably
copy-
your
it's the
iPhone
copy
one,
that, no, it's the copy that Pedro found.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Debs is watching a legal
It's
copy that he bought,
raping
aren't you,
time.
Debs?
Yeah, I rented this off the ice.
Yeah, he's watching a legal copy too, and he
I don't know
notices
what to tell
he
you,
notices it too, apparently. So there you go.
Yeah. iPhone tech.
No, Joe,
Here we go.
connected it to my
There we go. The villain song now.
I've connected it to me TV.
All right.
That's
so-
actually
Oh,
strange.
well,
Alrighty.
okay, yeah, Dwiz,
That's
it's
the
gonna look
reason-
bad when you try and
It's her
project
as
the
a
mobile
password,
ones on
right?
there.
I forgot.
Is that a no?
Yeah, as much as I love Gary Oldman, his voice doesn't fit the character in the slightest.
No, not at
Give me
all.
something more graphy and deep about this guy.
Okay, I'm going to turn the TV
There you go,
off.
ladies and gentlemen. That's his motivation. He's bored of peace.
Well,
And
actually, to be fair, his motivation is just that he wants revenge and he wants power and control.
But remember,
Oh, and
Jova, he just
Oh.
started attacking the people of the round table for no reason. Like,
So it's
Well,
again,
yeah.
it's exactly like in Lost in Space. There's been peace too much, so the seditionist actually wants war.
no more
Yeah.
foolish acts of kindness. Yeah, who needs kindness? Like this guy's so one note over the top evil. Like, you have to, like, seriously, like, this is one of the worst animated villains ever, as far as I'm concerned. Like, he's written such a one note, simple minded way. Like, I just hate everything. I hate kindness. I hate peace.
Like, I mean, if they were more honest with how one note he'd be, they could have had something going, but they don't even do that. And again, like I said, he technically has the motivation. The problem is, like, well, they either
here we
ignore
go.
it or they don't even flesh it out well.
Time for the song, yay! This song is weird.
Yeah,
The
this song.
instrumental is fine, but Gary is completely out of tune.
Not just that, the lyrics, like it sounds like it's not that this song is literally being made up as it's being sung, because like there's just like the way he delivers it, like not to mention like the melody. I cannot
doesn't
catch the
even-
melody to save my life.
It doesn't even rhyme.
The music in this movie is great, but this is probably the one exception. Like, I don't really like this song.
Also, to its
some
credit, it's not one of the songs that's
Oh,
trying
here we
to
go.
rhyme. Oh.
Acme
Apparently,
potion.
The Acme Corporation did this.
Guys, I know you're a
Sure.
Warner Brothers movie, but that was... You should have made that like something in the background, not an actual plot
really-
point.
I really wonder if Warner Bros. was
Now I'm ex-
trying to actually do something with this, like
Now I'm, ex-
shared universe.
now I'm expecting Bugs Bunny to show up.
Okay, do they ever actually explain how the hell he got that potion?
He got
He
it from
said
a
that
witch.
we got it from a witch. I guess it's implied it's Morgana, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I said, the main
Does he
issue with
mention
this
it in
movie
the
is, like,
song?
he mentions it later, don't worry. Anyway, the main issue with this movie is, like, well, even when there are explanations, they're vague and you can easily miss them. Now, I'm not asking for this movie to, be like, well, an encyclopedia of lore, but maybe you actually show those witches as opposed to just having to be told about it, because, in an epic movie like this, we kind of like to see the wonders and excitement rather than just be told about it.
Worst henchman ever.
Yeah, seriously.
They just let her go.
Yeah, well, I don't know who's worse. Blue Lips with his slow waters, or these henchmen for their lack of awareness.
Also,
These
we have a
henchmen, at least
complaint.
Blue got some
we
stuff
can
going.
hear you, but we're not gonna do
They're
anything
just
like
that stupid, I guess.
Well, he eventually got stuff done, Joe.
Gary, get off the stage.
Fire your
You're a
agent.
You're a great actor, but you're not a good singer, mate.
I feel at this point one of those hooks should come out from the side and pull him out of this.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
that-
okay,
that-
folks,
that-
okay,
that
folks,
walking
joke's
sticks.
over, joke's
It will
over.
fit
All right,
with
now
the
here's the
vulnerable.
actual real performance.
Them walking sticks that comes out and just drags you away.
Like, seriously, this song feels like something that would be in a blooper reel, kind of like that Put That Thing Back Where It Came From or So Help Me musical and during the credits of Monsters Incorporated.
Same body, so.
I would love to see someone do an actual.
For those who
musical.
don't know, the guy who did the songs for this movie was a guy from Journey. So I guess this was the one he shitted out, because all the other ones are pretty great, especially the prayer.
I mean, that song is not even terrible, I'd say. It's just, it could have been easily done better.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Griffin was supposed to give him Excalibur, but something went wrong.
You
on
could
the
have,
way.
I don't know, explained his rise to power more. Like, how did he
Wait,
get
wait,
all
wait,
these
wait, hold
henchmen? How did he get this Griffin thing under his control?
Oh, well, the Griffin thing actually does get explained later in the movie.
Okay, then.
As for the henchmen, I guess we can just assume he
Great.
rounded up some ragtag.
Considering they're
counterparts.
stupid, I guess. Yeah, it's like blind mercenaries or something.
He just said he was a
Oh,
falcon.
I think Falco.
Falcon with silver wings. Okay. Oh, never mind. Now I just remembered. Like,
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay then. I just remembered Jova. Now that I remember, doesn't Aiden actually belong to Merlin or something?
Merlin, yes. Remember,
I
at the end
think
of the movie, it will
Yeah,
be a thing
yeah,
of,
I
it
just
was all
remember.
part of a plan.
I just remembered. Never mind. Yeah, okay. It's been years since I've seen this movie.
Well, if he's so worthless, why did you drag him on this mission?
Oh, like,
Oh, it's just typical.
oh, Gary.
Why do you want to use Chicken Axe?
He was, I guess, testing him out?
Oh, the girl! How do you even know the girl is a threat to you? For all you know, all she's doing is trying to escape.
I guess she's seen.
Oh, and here we go.
Okay.
The
Allow me
prayer.
to handle this
Yeah,
one.
go ahead,
Ladies
Jova.
and gentlemen, you probably have heard this song. There have been remixes of this song. There is a gospel version of this song. This song has been sung by a lot of the biggest name singers all in town.
Celine Dion,
It is-
Josh freaking Groban.
I personally recommend the Andrea Bocelli version.
But yes,
Honestly, guys, I don't recognize this song at all.
I'm not surprised about that, Dweebs. You're not that big on music stuff. Anyway, the point being is
Well,
this song is, let me finish. This song is really big news. And this is where the song came from. I mean, don't get me wrong. The song technically does fit the scenario. Her mother wants her to get out safe, even though there's a bit of tone dissonance in what's being shown here and there. But the point being, this movie is where this song came from. Let me remind you, one of the most popular songs of all time was birthed from this movie. This
Yeah.
just shows the level of...
And it doesn't fit in the
My
slide.
my guess is that this film did bad enough at the box office, but I guess the UK, it did so bad here in the UK that even this song couldn't be popular.
Actually, from what I hear, the UK really likes
Also,
the song.
Jova, one interesting trivia. Apparently, this song was localized exclusively in my country, in a sense that since the co-singer of this original song was Andrea Bocelli, Tino, a tenor, basically, while this original version is sung by Celine Dion, in the Italian version, it's Bocelli singing. So we got the original version.
Actually,
you're
no,
telling
Taylor.
me that
This version in the movie is not performed by Celine Dion. That was a
No.
remix later. Or was it? Is this version
I
played by
think
Celine Dion?
I think Celine Dion sings the credits version.
Oh, okay then.
But yeah, so you're telling me too that a man voiced for Kaylee's mother.
I don't know, and I don't want to know at this point.
So does that make her mother a man in the Italian version?
No.
So her mother just has a male singing voice.
I don't
So-
know, Joe, but like it's been so long since. Also, white everyone.
Yeah. Damsel in Great Nine, you can barely get past trees.
Either
So-
that or it's a duet, Jova. Like I don't remember all the details, and it's been ages since I watched the movie. I'll check it out and tell you.
Also,
and call you back on that.
Jova, your point on me and musicals. I walked out of a wider, and I remember most of the songs from that film.
Oh shit!
Well, again, no one's the same, Dweebs. You just have a peculiar memory at times. Like, seriously, you yourself have bragged and boasted
Ladies
about
and
how you
gentlemen,
forget what something
the-
is very memorable in the things
Ladies
that
and gentlemen.
no one would expect you to be memorable about. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, one of the better characters of this movie,
Played
and
by Cary Elwes.
The problem is that even though he's supposed to be blind, how did he see that coming if he's blind?
He's Daredevil.
Okay.
I guess.
uses other
The
senses.
animators forgot that he's blind.
Nah. To be fair, it's a common thing with blind people using, their heightened other senses.
Yeah, believe it or despite all people joking about the very condition, blind people actually can have all their other senses, enhanced.
Which kind of makes Daredevil one of the more realistic heroes, go figure.
Yeah.
Well, when it's not the 2003 version.
Yes. Trap. So I guess we're
The
doing Home
wonders
Alone
of a
now.
magical forest.
And the big troll got sucked into a whirlpool and died.
Because it's a magical forest. I mean, yes, they technically explain it, but it's kind of
Magic way
annoying
to
how that's all
explain it.
Okay. I can buy magic in this universe because your Merlin exists, but
But
the issue. But the issue is there's some other stuff in this film that isn't really explained.
See, in Sword in the
That's it.
Stone, the magic came strictly from Merlin and Madame Mim. not the actual setting itself, you know. So it made more sense there. In here, everything is magical.
I mean, I think
Oh.
Yes, Joe?
the issue is like, well, okay, if there were more to this movie, I could understand them having to go with the easy, oh, it's just a magical forest, if this movie had more going to it. You know, like Gwen Michael, some of the most famous movies of all time have a boatload of plot holes and not that well explained stuff if you actually analyze them. The difference is that something like the original trilogy of Star
Yeah,
Wars.
see, there you go. I'm sorry, Joe. I had to interrupt you.
Potholes.
I love that one. You're blind. Yeah, I always forget that one. Yeah, you and the animator seems like.
Yeah.
Well, again.
Continue, Joe.
Yeah, again, though, him being blind does make sense. But yeah, back to what I was saying. It's like, well, you know, again, some of the most popular movies of all time, you know, especially stuff like the Star Wars, the original trilogy, have quite a few plot holes, although some later patched up by later subsequent movies. My point being is like, well, if this movie had a lot more going to it, I'd understand the need for a quick explanation because they don't want to risk tripping over themselves. The problem is that this movie has little to nothing going for it. Like, let me put it like this, folks. The plots might as well just be a simple bout of character walks from part A to part B. Like, basically,
Yeah.
she and this guy are going to go for the forest, meet new characters, go for the forest, come across villain, go for the forest, try and find MacGuffin, go to the Camelot, final battle.
Oh,
So are we going to get to this? Yeah. So
This
this
one is
the
sung
You
by
Can't-
Brian Adams, if I
Okay.
remember correctly, right?
So this is the "You Can't Come with Me" song.
Yeah.
also,
Don't-
in case you noticed, the
I
songs
Stand
are
Alone.
kind of in a barrage in this movie. You barely can catch a break.
The problem is
Thank
that
goodness they're good. Again, you know, here's the problem though. This song would work if literally the next 2 seconds after it don't do what they're going to do.
Yeah,
Just wait and
basically
watch.
gigantic
yeah,
red color.
Yeah.
not just
For now,
that.
though-
It's a
Oh,
shame
you
too
go first.
because this song is one of my
It's
favorites
great.
in one of my favorites in the movie, especially the one performed by Journey.
Who?
A band.
The band.
Okay, see,
never heard of them.
You uncultured, whatever.
That's why.
I'm gonna say this right now. This song is phenomenal because this song essentially does what Tarzan tried to do with the songs, only actually made it work. Yeah, this movie did something better than Tarzan, though. To be fair, when you have Phil Collins at the helm of a soundtrack, that's not the hardest thing to do. No offense,
Okay.
Phil, but your soundtracks are way too exposition heavy. My point being, though,
he seems to be better when he's just making albums.
or when he's guest starring for Hook.
The big thing is, again, fine, whatever. Everything is magical. Yeah,
Again, you know what I mean? This song works because
I love how this song is kind of celebrating angstiness. I've seen your
And
world, and I
nature.
don't want any more of it.
anyway, basically, this song works because it actually helps it.
What?
It's Magic Force, whatever. Anyway, as I was saying, this song overall would work because, you know, it does relatively sum up his character. You know, he's blind and awesome, but he wants to work alone. And it would be a good setup for a scene that later forces him to have to work with her. But no, they weren't clever or they didn't have enough animation left to do something like that.
The flowers are flying.
Yeah, you know, this really just goes to show how lazy the "it's just magic" thing can be when you... Okay, look, if you want to say the forest is magic, that's fine, but don't go to all these links to show all these elaborate details about the forest, all explained by a lazy
Hold on,
situation.
hold on.
Wait
Wait
for
for
it.
it.
Aiden.
Here we go.
Huh. You know,
Fuck you,
Aiden...
movie.
You know,
Brilliant.
funny
So
enough-
basically that song was just a waste of my time. Wait,
And that is the...
so basically that song was just a waste of our time. Good to know.
And that is the cardinal sin involved with that song. It's such a great song, and it establishes his character, only for it to kind of be tossed by the wayside.
This is the fastest I've seen something important get rendered moot.
I mean, you know, there are so many ways you could have done that better. Like, hey, maybe have them offer him something in return for his help, or
Well,
hey,
Have her secretly tail him.
yeah, or hey, maybe you're never seeing where the bad guys corner him, and then he feels that he owes her.
I do like that line though. You mythological moron.
Also,
I love
why
how
the
he has a monocle
Because don't you see too? Because monocle means you're smart.
and evil,
Oh,
and
you're-
sometimes British.
Oh, here we go.
Slapstick.
That feeling when the Urkel chicken is the most effective henchman this guy's going to have in this movie.
The overall
Aside
major
from the Griffin.
the overall major problem is that the movie is just so. Oh, here we go. Ha, get it? Because kids are gonna get a Taxi Driver reference.
Well, it's sad because a lot of kids' films actually have Taxi Driver references in them. In fact, believe it or not, let me put it like this for you guys. The latest Teen Titans Go trailer literally is about where Slade is telling kids, because that's the target demographic of that show, he's basically saying, you know what, go ahead and see Deadpool because it comes out before me.
Why
Yes,
is Merlin
Teen
the
Titans
one
Go.
tending to Arthur's wounds? Doesn't he have medical staff for that?
Because he's got
basically
the magical potions and whatnot.
So basically, Joe, what you're saying is there's advertising
Also,
a film. It's
Merlin
basically
is downright evil. Looks evil in this.
wait,
reason.
Joe, but it's advertising a film that kids can't even see because it's too high an age rating for them.
Yeah.
It's simple, Tale. This is Warner Brothers, so it's secretly Saruman.
No, don't you mean Aruman without the S?
You do not seriously think that a blind man could contend with the will of Sauron. There are none who can.
It's all for sweetie.
Why are you referencing the Bashki version?
But yeah, like I was trying to say, the
Oh,
major
geez.
problem with this movie isn't even the plot holes, like Jobo was saying. The major problem is that it's bland. The characters are bland. The story is bland. It's
a shame because considering what we're trying to establish, the scope, the whim.
Oh,
and
here we go.
everything.
Okay, Dweb, since you're the Brit here, I want you to tell me
Yeah.
what you think of this. This is arguably this movie's greatest achievement that we're about to find.
Basically, folks, we're about to get our equivalent to the genie from Aladdin.
Not just
Which is
that,
ironic,
not just
it's
that,
ironic
Jova.
because the voice actor that basically we chose a specific voice actor for this character we're about to meet. Yes, one for both, Jova, and it's the same who actually voice acted the genie in Aladdin for us.
All right, Dwebs. Like I've said, believe it or not, we're about to meet one of the best achievements of the movie. Not as in not like an actual plot achievement.
It's a meta.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well. I think. Good job, Joe.
Oh my god, a dragon! Something that may be cool, awesome, and death-bringing!
It's kind of interesting, but you'll see.
All right, let's wait till we see what this.
Oh, here we go.
Ah,
All right, you recognize those voices.
Hang on.
yeah.
None that comes to mind. Could you tell me who they
Ladies
are?
and gentlemen, Eric Idle and Don Wrinkles together at last.
Eric
what's
Idle.
What's exactly the big accomplishment behind this duo, if I may ask?
Well,
They're from
because
Monty Python.
yeah,
Well, I get that, but I mean, the other guy, though.
Don Wrinkles. Well, you might remember him. Well, if I remember correctly, because remember, I'm not as familiar with the English version as the Portuguese version. Like, wasn't Don Wrinkles the voice of Mr. Potato Head? If I remember
Not
correctly.
just that, he was a
yeah.
big thing since the 50s in America.
The point is, they're two of the best British comedians of all time, and you can say that this is like their only collaboration of sorts. Because as far as I'm aware, they never had a collaboration as outside of this. So there you go, Dwebs. This will be our British comedy duo for the movie.
The problem is that the characters, I guess.
Get it? Devon, Cornwall.
Get it? Because
Oh.
they're British.
Yeah,
Oh.
these two are just a waste of time.
Okay.
Waste
For
of time.
the benefit of the non-British, Devon and Cornwall are two places in the southwest of the UK that are rather close to each other.
Oh, look, an extra dragon.
Finally.
Cornwall's actually a nice place if you can cope with the narrow roads, but anyway.
Guess this was back when Cornwall was infested with dragons during the Camelot era.
Well, remember, Jova, the assignment that Herschel Layton gave to Rosetta Stone was on the stone relics of Cornwall.
Some relics for Cornwall, yeah.
So maybe.
Also, acid pool.
It's like a platformer too.
Yeah, press X.
Welcome to the quest for
You know-
Camelot video game.
Oh my
this
kidding!
movie get a video game
Almost all modern
adaptation?
games is just so automated. Oh Jesus! Yeah. Also, yeah, Joe, like I mentioned, basically those two in the Italian version actually are voiced by just a single person. And to be fair, he does a decent job with variations.
Okay.
You know, it's a sad part too. For
Yeah.
when it comes to Kaylee, over here in Portugal, they got one of our best voice actress slash singers, who is primarily associated by playing Belle in Beauty and the Beast, Rapunzel in Tangled and the Tangled series,
It's fitting because
Mulan
Kaylee
in
looks-
Mulan. She's one of our top tier Disney princess actresses, and they got her for this piece of crap.
And somehow Warner Brothers Portugal got their hands on.
Yeah.
Hands on what? Sorry, Dwips?
Warner Brothers Portugal managed to get to drag her into this.
Well, she's not a Disney exclusive or anything like that. It's just
Sorry,
that
I worded it wrong earlier.
it's just that Disney is her biggest customer in terms of animation.
I guess it's fitting because Kaylee looks like Belle.
Born in the ass. Oh,
Okay, folks, you're probably wondering, why is there a random British comedy duo? Well, allow me to put it. You see, I like to call this the Timon and Pumbaa effect.
yeah.
You see, Lion King had a comedic duo, Timon and Pumbaa, who were basically sort of allegories for characters in a William Shakespeare play. The two comedic ones who kind of end up dying in their own story. The point being is the reason Timon and Pumbaa were overall well received, and that's aside from the sequels, it's they were a comedic duo, yet they actually did contribute to the plot, helping the protagonist out in some cases, and having some flesh to themselves. So why is it that even Disney themselves is screwed up every time they try to replicate that? Because the gargoyles are Timon and Pumbaa without. Oh god dang it!
The sad part is
Speaking
that
of the Lion King.
actually this is more like isn't this more like the Genie song, Friend Like Me?
Pedro, you literally just missed the part where they did the Lion King pose.
This film's not even trying to hide it at this point.
Not just that, Dwebs, but it's what's interesting, Jova. I hate Timon and Pumbaa in the first Lion King movie, but I love them in their TV show. But so that's kind of an interesting thing.
About Lion King 3.
You mean 1.5?
Yeah, that's fine. And I guess they're kind of okay in the sequel as well. It's
called Lion King 3. It's called Lion King 3 over here.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the country too. It's kind of weird. But anyway,
Most places
ladies and
call it
gentlemen,
1.5, but the UK calls it Lion King 3.
yeah, basically. But to get back to this though, ladies and gentlemen, if you thought I Stand Alone ended up being pointless, this is even more point. Why? At least the movie acknowledge the existence of I Stand Alone. The movie doesn't even acknowledge the fact that this song happened. I assure you.
Not just that. After the song is done, these two will just tag along for no
This is
reason,
one of the
with no explanation.
yeah, and this is one of the big problems of this movie. This is a musical where the songs have no purpose in the context of the movie. And that's like the worst thing you can do with a musical. Like even most bad movie musicals at the very least, even most bad animated musicals at least try.
Yes, we know.
Runner, because Warner Brothers. Yeah.
Paige.
Okay.
I thought the worst thing.
Let me finish, Dribs. That's actually relatively clever. Okay, one of the brothers using.
Oh,
their
look at
own
that!
Stuff to
The
do
chick
that stuff
from
for the
Droopy
more comedic
Cartoons.
Stuff. Yeah, I mean, okay. All right, go on, Dwibs.
I thought the bad thing a musical could do is cast a bad singer.
Well, that too, but this is even worse if you ask me, because again, Dwebs.
Debatable. I mean, a bad singer mucking up a song, that is unforgivable.
Yeah, but the thing is, Jova, if they're not going to have the songs have any purpose in the story, what's the point of even making this a musical? At least
I'll take a song that's at least sung well and sounds good on my ears rather than one that grates my ears.
Yes, but
because if you have one that grates the audience ears, then there goes redeeming factors.
I guess, but at the same time, again, of course, Elvis, because that makes sense. Most bad animated musicals at the very least try to have the songs have some kind of purpose. This song serves. Here we go. Listen here. Eric, Don, get off the stage.
Why Elvis?
There you go. Come on, Garrett. There you go. See, the movie completely ignores the fact that song just happened. We literally wasted 3 minutes of filler.
Well, I mean, I guess technically the movie does acknowledge it happens because Kaylee claps and applause, just like at the end of the Genie song. Seriously, you rip-off hacks?
Yeah, but at least that was established better because, again, remember, the purpose of Friend Like Me was for the genie to demonstrate to Aladdin that he's actually a powerful genie, that he's actually worth his time and show all that he can do. That song
actually
with the dragons had no purpose whatsoever.
And that's another good point. It's like, well, see, at least with the Aladdin song, we knew that Aladdin was actually seeing all those mystical wonders because, the genie's magical. This one repeats the same problem as the gargoyles from Hunchback of Notre Dame, and we don't even know if it's really happening, so it's even more of a waste.
So dragons are forbidden from helping humans. It's a very specific rule.
And
Wait, when did they say that?
And right now, actually, for no real reason, mind you. Why would you even bother writing that into the script?
Now they're cooking dragons.
Oh yeah, we kind of defeated it, so it makes sense. Also, I think about just this. We're halfway through the movie.
Did Gary just point out the absurdity of the plot?
Wait. We're only halfway through? Christ.
That's the thing with the pace has been so barraging so far. A lot of things have happened at the same time.
It's not even just that, Debs. Did you notice? Gary Oldman literally just said, I can't believe I've been reduced to following a little girl, a blind man, and a pigeon. The movie literally just pointed out the absurdity of its own plot.
Again, pointing out your own problems doesn't make them go away.
I can just imagine what was like in that recording before they were doing these lines.
Gentlemen, I would like to talk to you about this line. What is that? Well, actually, we haven't gotten to that part yet.
Line yet.
No, all these lines, the dialogue in this film is just
No.
generic.
We have yet to come to the crowning line of what
I was talking about the dialogue in general.
Dwibs.
Yeah, but we're waiting for the good moment, Dwibs. Be patient.
Yes, Pedro?
I freaking love Eric Idle, and I'm pretty sure everybody in the world does. Please tell me that there's at least one good animated film that he was in.
I'm actually not bothered to check.
And then I'll check.
Why, Eric? You're too good for this.
Okay.
Why? And you too, Don. Why are you here? Go ahead.
To a Brit, constantly calling them Devon and Cornwall is a little bit distracting.
Yeah. But don't you see, Dwebs? It's an in-joke for you Brits.
And this film was made by Americans.
Go ahead, Dwebs. Is there any good one?
Oh, there you go. The explanation. How
The backstory of how he got blind. Yeah.
The same year this film came out, he was in Secret of Them 2.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
So this was in generally a bad year for a lot of
So
people.
let me put it like this. This is the same year Gary Oldman is in two
And there you
bad
go.
movies with two bad villains.
The father of Kaylee actually trained him.
And he was also in a direct-to-video film called Hercules Zero to Hero.
Oh yeah, that was the pilot for the TV show. Oh, okay, so he wasn't something good.
Fine.
He was in South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Oh, cool.
102 Dalmatians, the English
Nice.
dub of the 2002 Pinocchio film.
Never. Oh wait, 2002.
That's the one we commented on.
That one.
And he was also in Shrek the Third.
Yeah, as Merlin.
Delgo and the Box Troll. Well, sort of the Box Trolls.
Well, the Box Trolls was okay. It was the weakest Leica movie, but I still think it's okay.
I wouldn't say it was the weakest, but we'll agree to disagree. What role did he play in Box Trolls?
It doesn't actually list a role. Apparently, he just composed one of the songs.
Oh, okay.
But again, there's one thing I like. Yeah, he wrote this. He wrote the Box Trolls song.
Also, it's. I'm sorry, you cannot build up the mystery with the Falcon if you just clearly show in a previous scene that it was property of Merlin.
One of the big problems I have with what's his name again? The blind dude.
Daredevil.
No. His actual character name, for the sake of fairness.
Discount Daredevil.
Fine. Discount Daredevil here. My problem with him is, okay, you give him a backstory and all that shit. The problem is that he still has all the personality of a loaf of bread. Like, he's just...
Oh my god. When I made that joke earlier about the Quest for Camelot video game? There actually was a Quest for Camelot video game.
Oh god.
Like,
It was on the
these
Game Boy
two.
It was on the Game Boy Color, and it was developed by Titus, the same guys who made Superman 64.
Yeah. Here's my problem. We have two main characters. Missy here has all the personality of a plank of wood, whereas Mr. Blind here has a backstory. I'll give him that. However, the problem is that his personality is still about as much
Garrett.
as
He doesn't really care about things.
about as much as Kaylee's. Like,
Also, Gary Oldman is so pissed he can actually touch his fire like that.
Garrus' his name, by the way.
We needed that scene, apparently.
writers, writing 101. If you had to have a romance between two characters, you have to give them personality so that they can bounce off each other, instead of just being two blind loaves of bread. Bread doesn't go with bread. Bread always goes with something else. Bread goes with butter or with, I don't know, cheese, ham, something. You can't put bread inside bread. You can't make a bread sandwich. That's what they're trying to do with these two characters. They're trying to make a bread sandwich.
Boy. We're actually about to find Excalibur, finally.
Maybe if it were different kinds of bread.
You're pushing it.
Oh, apparently, originally King Arthur was supposed to be voiced by Christopher Reeve.
Of course, because
I guess he turned down the role.
Well, Theo, at least someone turned this movie down. It's good to know, at least.
Yeah.
Well, apparently
How did you manage to get away?
Apparently, he did record some lines, but because of story changes that resulted in creative differences between the original directors and Warner Brothers, they left, and the new director brought in Pierce Brosnan when Reeve couldn't come back.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Kaylee just did something. She's useful, see?
Is there any way we can petition to commission a law against making Eric Idle not funny? Because that should be considered a crime in my eyes. Oh yeah, that's right, the mom, because we all care so much about her.
Yeah, where's the bub bid?
Remember, she's needed as a password, sort of, in order to enter Camelot.
This whole movie just feels like a big executive mandate. Like, just make it as Disney-like as possible. And that's
apparently
CGI rain.
Apparently, the main animation for this film was done both in Warner Brothers Animation's facility in California and in London, of all places.
It's showcased because sometimes the animation look different between some frames.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's okay.
Yeah, the biggest cop-out ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to heal him with the power of song.
Seriously, what was the point of him being injured before if you're just gonna kill him right now like that?
But that's the thing, Theo. This is what the movie thinks is character development between these two. What?
Oh no, I'm sad because.
Also, not just that. You should be in agony. You should not be singing about this.
Jova.
He's burped.
Oh, he has. Well, I'll type in the point so I can remember. But basically, what I was going to say was, when Dal Jova said earlier that this film got put up against the re-releases.
Mm-hmm.
This film was originally supposed to come out in November of 1997, but they pushed it to May 98
in order
so they could avoid Anastasia and the re-release of Little Mermaid.
Wouldn't that have been funny if they went against Anastasia?
There you go, everybody.
Knock up against another.
There you go, everybody. That's the romance. I hope you enjoyed it.
And they tried to.
Like that.
I remember, Jeva, they tried to avoid a Disney re-release, but didn't you say they ended up going against another one?
Oh, that was Swan Princess I was talking about, that Disney pitted Lion King against.
Swan Princess was 20th Century Fox, right?
Yeah.
It was before Sony bought it.
No,
Okay.
you can't. You can't.
I never understand studios.
But Pedro, spinning 360 rotoscope.
You can't. Okay, see, the reason the reason it worked in Princess and the Frog is because Tiana and
Wait, hold on. We never had a scene like that in Princess and
no,
the
I'm
Frog.
talking about in terms of having a romance song.
Oh, well, I mean, plenty of things have shown how to do a romance song better.
Sure,
I mean, don't get me wrong.
I'm just trying
the
to
song itself isn't the problem, but you're probably talking about the scene going on.
Yeah, the way they're using it. Again, we've already discussed this. This music is
And
great.
not just-
The way
and
that
again,
the
not
movie
just
does
that,
it is
you're
bad.
going for like what, a couple of days at most.
Not well. That depends, Theo. See, here's the thing. In Little Mermaid, they only go together for 3 days, but they took advantage of those 3 days so that at least have them actually go out, interact,
Not
and all that
just
shit.
For that, you can add the slight excuse of Ariel being
Jeb,
infatuated.
have you got a
Hold
stomach
on,
ache?
please.
That
Jesus.
Tia finished ribs.
Not just that.
Well,
Here,
I mean,
none of the two is actually infatuated with each other until now. So
Yeah.
Anyway,
This
sorry
is-
about. Anyway, sorry about that, Dwibs. Anyway, to answer what you're asking me, I'll be quite honest. The more I look back at Little Mermaid, the more I think that the romance there was not the best handled. I mean, and to be fair, the story
It was
it's
better
based
than
off
this,
of, I
at
can
least.
understand why. Well, that's not saying much, Pedro. It's like, well, I mean, it's like I've always said, Little Mermaid to me is one of
Well,
those
that's how I was bringing up
overrated films.
Princess and the Frogs, because Princess and the Frog had also them falling in love in a short amount of time. The reason it works there is because, again, even though it was technically a short amount of time, Ron and John took advantage of all the scenes they were in together. Not to mention, unlike these two, the main protagonists in Princess and the Frog actually have conflicting personalities that allows them to interact in interesting ways. So,
Man, I missed the scene, didn't I?
what?
what scene?
You know, the scene
No,
where
no.
he says
Actually,
the
it's
line.
coming. Actually, no, Jova.
No, that's not- that
because
wasn't come up yet.
We're-
What
we're
you
actually
what you
about,
missed was the
wait.
healing leaves. That's what you missed.
Okay. And
We're
the
about
part
to
where she
actually
rescues
find
him about a
Excalibur.
quicksand. But
You
yeah,
were
I mean,
warned, ogre and ogre again.
Oh, jeez.
Uncle Yorick. Oh, Shakespeare joke.
Ha, get it? Because Yorick.
And vertebrate. Yeah.
Hey, look,
Oh,
it's
geez.
the Rockbiter from Neverending Story.
Yeah. Let's hope it doesn't get that cover of Born to Be Alive. Born to
no,
Be
it's
Wild.
Born to
sorry.
Be Wild.
Born to Be Wild. Yeah, you're right. Seriously, fuck Neverending Story 3.
Wasn't that the one with Jack Black?
Mhm.
Yes.
What's Jack Black doing in that kind of movie?
But yeah,
Jack
like I
Black
was.
was in a lot of bad things. So go ahead, Finn.
But yeah, just to finish my rant, you can't have a romance if your two characters have no personality. In order for people to fall in love, they need personalities, preferably conflicting personalities, so we can
Oh,
have
boy,
good play and interaction from them. Go ahead.
We're about
Unless
to get
you're
some
old
bad
school Disney.
CGI. Ooh, that isn't aced gracefully at all.
Well, like yourself said, Jova, that was old school. They were products of their time. So
It's even in lower frame rate. Oh god. So the discount Rockbiter just is using Excalibur as a toothpick.
It's funny. I don't know.
No.
Nah, but it's part of a challenge, I guess.
do you have a single original idea in your Bones movie?
Well, not entirely. I mean, they're basing this off a legend.
I mean, well,
And a book about that legend at that.
but that doesn't mean anything, Dwebs. I mean, there's plenty of Disney adaptations that still have a lot of creative things about them. Like, the problem is that every single thing in this movie is taken from something else. The Rockbiter from Neverending Story. The comic relief is basically Discount Genie. The villain is, I guess, the villain from Wars of Virtue.
Actually, no.
okay,
Hold on.
okay. You're stretching
I would
that.
say that is a mixture between Gaston, Jafar, and Scar.
I guess. I mean, but technically,
Oh, no.
a mixture of that is original, then.
No. Get Shrek.
You know, that's interesting. I mean, the shitty Godzilla movie by Roland Emmerich came out the same year, and it also had a similar shot to this.
You know what?
No,
film, you know what?
kidding me? No.
Really, no.
By the way, you know what films the director Frederick Duchow did after this?
What?
He did Racing Stripes and Underdog.
Huh.
Oh boy, here we go, Jovan. We're about to get the best line in the entire movie.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Gary
this is it.
Oldman, take us away with your
Gary.
Britishness, I guess.
Go ahead, Gary.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Well, that's the only way you can deliver a line like that, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
Okay, let's throw in even a fart joke, might as well.
I want to talk to you about this line, the ogre's butt.
Wow, what's wrong with the ogre's butt?
Well, there's nothing wrong with the ogre's butt. I mean, it's lovely, but there doesn't seem to be any reason for this line to be in the movie. Why am I even pointing out that there's an ogre's butt?
Listen, Gary. We've been writing this. I can't remember how it went exactly, so I'll just
We've been writing this movie for about 4 months on the shoestring budget of whatever Warner Brothers will leave over for us. So please understand.
Yeah, sorry. But Warner Brothers didn't have a great 1997, so they cut the budget back.
Well, why on earth would we say the ogre's butt? Like, maybe I should say, look out, it's the ogre's butt, or, oh my god, it feels terrible to be trapped in the ogre's butt. I mean, I'm a Shakespearean trained actor.
Wait, weren't you in that spider in Lost in Space?
Ogre's butt is fine.
Get to work on it.
Yeah. Oh, but you'll either say these lines or we'll ban you from DC in the future. Don't ask me how we know you're going to be doing that yet.
I suppose.
We're Warner Brothers. We know everything.
All right, so hold on. We got Excalibur. We're ahead of the villain. We're basically in the best situation ever. So in true animated tradition, or at least I think of the time, let's have a really pointless, angsty moment where the characters will argue with each other. The characters will argue with each other, separate temporarily, just to reunite for the climax.
Yeah,
I
basically.
hate this so
And
much.
keep in mind, we're only 25 minutes away from the end of this movie, so it's not exactly the time to be doing something like this.
Not just that, I don't even know what compelled so many people to actually do
How
this
the
kind of
hell
thing.
would you know if your mother's safe or not? I
You
mean,
can feel her presence.
Also, why are
in
you
the wind.
giving Excalibur to the blind man? I get it that your other options are
I
not
guess
exactly that great, but come
I'm
on.
guessing he's using it to feel around since his stick got broken.
okay, Eric, Dawn,
Oh wait, never
we
mind.
get
He
it.
has it on his back.
Eric, Dawn, we get it. You're British. Stop pointing it out.
The dialogue might as well just be every single line is referencing a place in the UK. Look, it's the Liverpool or stuff like that.
A
But
pool,
yeah,
a pool full of livers.
Since Dark Heavily thinks he doesn't want to go back to Camelot because, it feels crawling in my skin.
Even though that doesn't make any sense, because he's already proven that he's a great warrior despite his blindness, even though I still find that to be nonsensical.
Hey, yeah. Actually, no. I'll point it out later when it becomes relevant. And trailer shot.
Ugh, jeez.
It's only
That explains why it's one of the better looking shots of the
Camelot.
film.
It's
It's only a
Camelot.
model.
It's only a model.
It's only a drawing. Or tweak that joke to fit this film better.
Now, see, actually, no. Just wait a few seconds. Actually, no, what I'll say right now. Okay, this makes sense in his character song where he does everything alone. Problem is, despite the fact that they're about to sing a reprisal of it, the movie kind of forgets that was his original motivation for not wanting to come to Camelot. Instead, now it's just, I don't belong there.
Bit of funny irony.
How cute. Yeah.
Bit of funny irony. This film was meant to compete against Disney. Underdog, the one of the films the director did after this, was made by Disney. So
Was
swings and
Underdog any
roundabouts, I
good?
guess. I don't know. I haven't seen it. It's a live action Disney film, so it's either going to be great or god awful.
Yeah, there are plenty of middle ground live action Disney films.
They seem to be the most prominent extremes.
Angst.
Seriously, fuck that. This is just, padding out with pointless and very heavy stuff that you don't really need. You know already what's gonna happen. You know that this is unnecessary, so why even bother?
He would just so go by myself.
Here's an idea. Spend this time actually to establish and explain more stuff. That would be great.
Or, use the songs to do it. That's kind of what musicals are for.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem, Joe. They were trying to use it, but not. It doesn't work.
Ha! Look at that joke. Those. Listen, you Jurassic twit. Ha! Get it? Get it?
I guess it's not British.
Even,
but anyway.
But here's the problem. They're dragons, not dinosaurs.
Well, okay, to be fair, there are a lot of mythologies and lores that say that dinosaurs are actually just dragons without the wings, so...
This was very uncomfortable.
I guess this movie is trying to be progressive.
Moment in the middle of supposedly a sad scene.
Well, I'll actually, now that I think about it too, Warner Brothers, so I'm guessing they were trying to reference that joke where Bugs Bunny kisses his enemies?
I think, maybe. And there you go, like a complete idiot, she gets captured and basically gives us...
So yeah...
Okay, what qualifies her to be a knight, exactly?
Honey, you were asking what a damsel is? That's what you are right now. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, she's not a very Sue because she's constantly failing and she had like one win, but by God, she fails a lot.
I mean, sure, don't have me marry Sue, but don't go for the other extreme.
Yeah.
I mean, just because I hate the Mary Sue nature of Lucky, that doesn't mean I want the exact opposite. Oh yeah, here's another problem I have. This potion apparently does whatever the hell the plot wants it to.
Now, to be fair, it has been established that the potion does fuse someone with a weapon.
Together,
okay, then.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it's done, hence the axe and the chicken, the spike balls and the others, so...
Yeah, but in
maybe if this movie calmed down for a moment to explain that clearly.
I mean, does he really need even to be merged with Excalibur like that?
I guess it's to make sure nobody steals it off of him, which is actually kind of a somewhat smart thing. It's somewhat a smart thing, I guess, to make sure nobody steals it from him, I guess.
I would argue that it's still stupid because you've lost a hand, you moron.
Being underneath the ogre's butts gave him some perspective.
How exactly are you going to, I don't know, lift something now? Or, like, you have to do everything with one hand now? That's incredibly unpractical. You didn't think this through, did you, Gary?
At least Captain Hook is able to use his hook quite methodically for even so much as combing his hair while also killing people.
Yeah, the movie Hook actually establishes that he has multiple, uses.
Don't you dare try to stop me.
There you go.
Okay, I've addressed the director. What about the writers of this film, you see?
Something awful has happened. Whatever little character she had is now gone.
Oh, screenplay by Kirk D'Amico, William Shiflin, Jacqueline Fever, and Davis Seidler. Four
writers.
Jesus.
I'm going to check.
People even established with, I wonder.
I'm going to check the IMDb pages right now.
Eric, Don, did you read the script before agreeing to do this?
Maybe they read an earlier draft that actually looks good.
I don't know.
Why?
Oh,
Eric?
one of them actually.
Why do you do this to me?
Oh yeah, that's right. That stupid character arc about this that they finally get their dragon right to being able to fly.
William Friends. Sorry, go on.
I just remembered something, Jova. If them learning to fly is their quote-unquote character arc, why couldn't their song be about how they wish they could fly?
I guess it's because the family are working together, and the song was to establish that they don't get along well. But now that they actually do, there you go.
William Shifrin's written quite a few episodes of Fairly Odd Parents.
Ugh.
So he went from bad to good, I guess. Well, okay, actually it depends. Which season of Fairly Odd Parents?
One's from like the 2010s.
To...
when it ended.
Oh, so a couple last season.
Okay, so he had some good ones, and I guess he got to participate in the good for overall.
And there you go. This is enough. Yeah. Let's clearly invite the clearly
Kirk
person.
As for Kirk D'Amico, you that have gone to write Racing Stripes, here comes Peter Cottontail, Casper's Scare School, Space Chimps, The Croods,
You
and
know,
The
Arthur,
Star.
you're a really, really shit king. You know
Actually,
that?
no, he's only creative consultant for The Star.
Well, okay, Teo, points for accuracy in that regard at least. Arthur is just as much of a shit king in here as he was in the actual mythology. There you go.
That's
Well, point for getting one thing right.
Yeah, I will admit, whenever there's an adaptation off of the Camelot stories, I'm okay with them taking liberties because the original Camelot stories are kind of the kind of stories that are downers and are stupid for it.
Ooh.
In the sense that, it's just for the
I'm
sake
still
of
the world's
bad-
greatest knight, by the way.
One of the
Hold on this.
Oh,
Here we
and
go.
now, ladies and gentlemen, our heel-face turn.
a sudden one at that even.
Actually,
Because
no,
his
remember
wife told him to.
because remember Power of Chicken Boner, because that other chicken was supposed like his love interest
His
throughout
wife.
the beginning of the movie. Yeah. So
Jacqueline Feather wrote The King and I as well.
yeah, that's what he
Oh.
meant. He actually came back for King and I.
And as for David Seidler,
I still think the chicken turns against his master
also
way
acting
too
like-
quickly. It's just so laughable in the way
Don't
it's
you
done.
see, Pedro? It's the usual joke that he'll listen to anyone.
Oh,
his wife
David
overrides anyone.
David Seidler went on to write The King's Speech.
Well, I like that
So
movie,
from
so
rags
what
to
the
riches.
fuck? Well, okay, fine. I guess the sun has to shine on every piece of shit sometimes. Like,
Well, remember Pedro. The people who made Bubsy 3D went on to make Days Past. I mean, we don't know if
Days
that game will be
Gone.
good. Days Gone. We don't know if
And
that
Si-
game
and
will be
Siphon
good or not
Filter.
yet, but they have made some other good stuff like that Uncharted PSP.
Vita.
And the Siphon Filter.
Yeah.
All right, Kelly. Now you actually have to do something yourself as opposed to having your mother, yes, even your mother bail you out.
Oh, jeez. No, it's falling
Now
with
it's not-
style.
Now's not the time. How are you now?
Get it?
Wait,
Because
brother?
Warner Bros.
Wait, they're brothers? Or is he just referring to him as a brother in arms?
I don't remember.
Ha! Get it? House Stone Age. Huh?
You know what would
Get
have
it?
made sense? Make this guy be Mordred, if anything.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense, but no, we cannot have that.
Sense in this series? Sorry, in this movie.
When Sonic and the Black Knight is more true to the Arthurian legends than you are,
That's
Hey! That game actually has a legit good story.
I'm not saying that as a diss against the game. I'm
What's
just
Assassin's
saying.
Creed method?
I see
Okay.
what you mean, though.
You're blind.
I mean,
well,
look.
to be fair, Teo, he literally just asked, "Do you think that's a good idea?" So I'm guessing that's the joke.
Also,
Huh.
Morris has.
I don't know. I like the whole blind joke from Turn of the. Wait! I thought you were blind. That's all right. I can see a lot better. You sure about that? Huh? Yeah. So many memories, like the one scene we've had with this room in this movie.
Also, the way it's CGI, the Excalibur CGI, it's weird.
Revenge
Like,
for what? Again, I must ask. Revenge for what? He never
Why,
did.
Pedro,
For the,
revenge
for the
for...
fallen.
Yeah, also remember, revenge for when he got foiled last time he tried to take over.
But that was what were you expecting King Arthur to just allow himself to get killed and not fight back? Like,
Surprisingly, a lot of villains fall into that stupid
Not
villain.
just that, Pedro. Also, the fact that he got injured by that, so he took it personally. I
that
guess.
too.
I tried to fight all the knights at the round table, and I ended up getting injured as a result. Who would have thought?
A lot of evil means stupidity as well.
I know,
Yeah.
but that doesn't make it good. Though. Like,
Also, yeah, they can also bring. Yeah, Superman because DC is owned by Warner Bros.
You know, I'm just gonna say this right now. Kangaroo Jack made a better use of that joke.
oh no,
That's
Mister,
it.
whoever the hell that is injured.
Oh boy.
Oh,
I'm sure Clint Eastwood would
Urkel.
appreciate that reference.
Oh.
okay, I can get why nostalgia critic missed some of these things, including a space heel turn. It's not even it's not shown very well.
Actually, he did mention the heel face turn.
Remember
I mean,
the
He
fuck-ups,
said that Oh yeah, was it in the Falcon?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is, like, yeah, he actually does acknowledge that he missed those bits.
Also,
Well, he always misses bits.
Gary, you're taking your sweetest time.
Don't you see, Theo? He wants to savor the moment of vengeance.
Why don't you
as
just
most
Well, to
torture
be
instead
fair-
of just hitting the round table?
Well, to be fair, Dwebs, as this very commentary has proven, I missed some points that you guys have corrected me on. So missing points, it's easy, as Joe has explained. The explanations are
Nobody
way
is
too.
perfect.
The explanations are way too vague for the movie's good.
Yeah, again, you know, this is one of those examples where a movie, okay, in most cases, you might consider just being bland to be, you know, a saving grace from being god-awful. Here's the problem, though. One thing people forget is that being bland can be just as bad, if not worse, than being terrible.
Yeah,
Because
I
here's
agree.
the thing. When a movie is bad or really good, most reasons is because it's the details it goes to. Like, a really terrible film can be considered terrible because the explanations are stupid, but they're still there. Being bland not only can run the risk of making you being forgotten by the ages. Oh, by the way, that's a little foreshadowing hint there, what happened with her hand on the magical rock.
Mhm.
But yeah, in this case, being bland also means that you have like a paper thin plot and world. And for a movie of this ambition, that is a terrible thing to have.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually kind of interesting, Joe, because Dardigan, who's a guy who makes a lot of game sins videos that me and Taylor
Wait,
like a
hold
lot.
on, here we go, guys. The villain is
About
about
to-
to get defeated.
Yeah.
Not just that, yeah, he gets defeated just because of the way he's attacking them. Because if he just did a simple slash, this would have not happened.
You
Instead, he
are
went
made.
for a sting.
What a terrible villain.
And now, ladies and
Also,
gentlemen, this
apparently the
cures
power
everything.
of the power of the stone. The stone has powers on his own, and he does that.
Like I said, it cures you.
Wait, it's like the Zordon Ray thing from Power Rangers in space.
Well, no, we prefer to stay united, I guess.
Their
Oh,
character arc.
this came out the same year as In Space.
Like I said,
Um,
well, I guess the only way you can go out is just laughing mad.
I
Poor
guess.
Gary Oldman.
But yeah, like Jova was saying, yeah, like like for example, Dardigan said something very good about in one of his sins videos, that game sins videos, that a game that has a lot of sins probably means that it took probably can be also taken as a sign that the game took a lot of risks to make something cool, whereas a game that has a low sin count might actually be for a reason that the fact that it didn't try all that hard. So
And now instantly wedding shots.
yeah, seriously,
Like,
we're
oh my
just
God,
cutting away from-
Well, we skipped.
We're really
So,
rushing out.
wait.
sorry, Des, we only have 10 minutes till this movie's end. We have to run
and
things
most of them
along.
will be about the credits.
Can we just ask Warner Brothers for more time?
No.
So, okay,
Sorry,
bottom
Dwebs.
line. Bottom line,
Okay.
the Knights of the Round Table were useless, King Arthur was useless, Merlin was useless. Basically, the entirety of the original Arthurian Cycle was completely useless.
Oh, but Theo, wait, Merlin may have actually played a part in all this.
Golly gee, Jova, what could you mean by that?
Well, let's just wait and see for the incredibly thinly veiled bout of
So wait,
BS.
all the fuss that Kaylee makes about wanting to be a knight, and
Yes, she's a knight now.
Yay.
And get it? She has her father's shield.
ladies, another term for.
So, because of what happened, Kaylee is the first female knight in.
Yeah, she's done. What's she
Sure.
done? What's she
Just-
done?
why not?
Kid-
I mean,
kid-
She dodged.
Kids, just go watch Mulan. It's right in the theater next door.
Pretty much.
Can you imagine the fallout if Mulan had been re-released by Disney? Wait, oh, that was Mulan.
Okay, these constant running gag with the two.
Oh, here we
go. Yeah, all according to Keikaku, you did.
Ah,
So wouldn't it have been nice to actually see Merlin participate in the plot?
Nah.
Yeah, he's perfectly.
I forgot Merlin was in this movie.
Just
And
knighted.
horse-
Ha, ha,
horse
ha, ha.
rear end.
Yeah, what a great way to end the movie.
That's what this movie
That's-
Yeah,
is.
showing us the horse's butt.
Dwebs?
Hmm?
On second thought, let's not go to Camelot. It is a silly place.
Yeah, also, did you notice the frame rate on the running away?
Yeah.
They're like moving at like 2 frames per second.
And I hate to nitpick, but you know what? Fine. I guess this credit artwork
I know
scenery
none of.
is
I don't
fine.
know who these voice actors are. Oh,
They deserve
Gary Wells, Brian White. Oh no, it's not Brian Adams. It's Brian White. Never mind. Yeah.
Gary Oldman, lead animator Alexander Williams.
Wait, Richard Williams did this? Oh, poor man. Jesus.
Yep.
Well, wait. Actually, wasn't. Oh no, never mind. No, that's another
Oh
Williams.
yeah, there
Never
you
mind.
go. Celine Dion. Oh, so she did sing this version.
Never mind then.
Pierce Brosnan.
And here goes Steve-
Thank goodness they got a singing voice for
And
Pierce
there you go,
Brosnan.
Steve. That's Steve Perry. Yeah, that's Steve Perry from Journey. He also did the songs.
Oh my God, they got
Rosamund Pinchot was the Griffin.
They got Balky here as the Griffin.
Balky from Perfect Strangers. And
Why?
Randall here.
Why him? Sir John Giggle,
Frank Welker voice.
and Mike Green.
Mike Nguyen.
Sarah
Also-
Rain.
How do you pronounce
yeah,
that?
Joe, I checked. I think the Italian version actually has the duet version
Oh yeah, supervising animator
of the prayer. It starts with her. It starts with her, but it goes into a duet. I think
So who's the guy singing it in context of a scene?
Peebo Bryson, most likely.
someone in the background. I think.
For those who don't know, Peebo Bryson was the one who did a duet with Celine Dion in Beauty and the Beast and the Cross.
By the way, Pedro, we were talking about the Italian version because apparently during that scene in the prayer, they used the duet version during the scene in the movie, even though it's only supposed to be the mother singing that.
Choreographer Kenny Ortega, you suck as a choreographer, sir. Sorry.
I really
funny you mentioned that, Pedro, because Kenny Ortega will go on to direct the High School Musical.
Oh, that explains so much.
Oh, okay. You know what's sad though? It's like, well, those movies at least have good choreography. So why is he bad here?
Well, this is animated choreography.
Huh.
Well, that was bland. The quest for blandness.
Oh, goody. We even got animators from the United Kingdom, as per the credits say.
Yes, so basically, the most the UK animation scene has contributed to the wider world is Quest for Camelot.
Yay! So
Dibs, there's always Terry. Well, Dibs, there's always Terry Gilliam's animations in the whole
when he's not trying to use CG.
Well, I'm talking about the Monty Python animations.
Sure. And hey, we always got the
I like those animations, but whatever. They're funny. Anyway.
Yeah, they're funny too. And hey, we've always got the Yellow Submarine, right, Goobs?
Suppose.
Anyway, final thoughts.
As trippy as that film is.
Oh, cleanup leads. Devon and Cornwall.
The heck is a cleanup lead?
A cleanup lead. It's an animation term, Jova. Basically, you have to clean up because when you write the animation, you have to clean the lines to make sure there's no. It's kind of hard to explain. You have to ask an animator to. Yeah, you have to ask but I have a basic idea of what it is. Basically, it's one of the final processes of animation. That's the basic gist of it.
Pedro.
Yes, Dwibs.
Kenny Ortega has been in good films. You know, he's done. You know, I don't know about Pretty in Pink, but he's done All Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh shit! I like that one.
He also did Dirty Dancing, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And he did Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus. Whatever.
Anyway.
The point is final thoughts.
Oh, and he was going to be a choreographer on Michael Jackson's farewell concert.
How sad. Anyway, yeah, this movie was bland and boring. It's just like, okay, the plot barely has anything of substance in it. Well, actually, no, it has nothing of substance. Like the characters have zero substance to them. The plot is just kind of moses along and doesn't do anything with itself, really. It's just like Jova said, it's point A to point B. And the music is really good for the most part. But however, it's horribly used. Hey guys, we have this beautiful ballad. Let's play it over an action scene. Like,
I mean, that sort of stuff can work too if you actually frame your scenes right. Except the fact is that they include the comedic noises in it. Like, okay, if they didn't have the comedic stuff going on during that scene, I'd actually be fine with, them playing that because, I've seen plenty of films that do that. But no, they throw in the comedic stuff, so it really clashes with the song.
It depends on the context. Like, there's a specific boss in Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix that plays Utter Promise during it. The reason that works, though, is because of the story context that's behind that boss fight. So the problem is that there's no real context that the movie presents that justifies a ballad in that action scene, really. I mean,
we can assume that, the context is like, well, she wants her to be safe and thus she feels worried and that. But again, they throw in the comedy stuff, which is just doing too much. Ironic, considering how flat this movie is more often than not.
Indeed. Anyway, the comic relief is terrible. And it's criminal. The fact that you bothered to get Eric Idle and Don Wrinkles together and you couldn't somehow make a funny joke out of this. Why? Why, Warner Brothers? Why do you hate me? Anyway, yeah, the animation is subpar. Honestly, if this was a smaller studio, I would be more lenient. But it's Warner Brothers Animation, and let me remind everybody: right after this, they released Iron Giant, which looks great.
And then they did The King and I, which looked even worse than this.
Yeah.
It's like
Didn't King and I come out the same year?
That's Andrea Bocelli.
I'm guessing Brad Bird really works well under a tight budget, unlike these guys.
Funny story, in case you don't know. Andrea Bocelli is a opera singer tenor, which is blind by birth. Basically, this guy, without seeing a single thing in his life, has managed to become a very professional and talented. Actually, no, he's not the voice of the blind guy. But basically, this guy managed to become an opera singer without seeing a single thing in his entire life. So I recommend you to listen to a couple of things where his song is really that good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So he fits for this kind of song.
Sorry, Tio, for a second there, I thought you said Adolfo Celli from the Bond films.
Sadly, he's dead by a long term.
Yeah,
but anyway, continue, Pedro. Sorry.
It's this movie is so forgettable. No wonder this movie was forgotten over the ages, because most people nowadays don't even talk about it or remember it, and there's a good reason for it. There's nothing in this movie worth remembering aside from the songs, which again have been properly popularized in other media. So yeah, even the songs cannot really be a reason to remember this movie by, because they're remembered because of other reasons. Most people don't even know nowadays that the prayer came from this movie. And, well, why should they, really?
Like, heck, I'm a big music buff, and even I didn't know until I saw the Nostalgia Critic review that this is where the prayer came from. That in
itself is a testament to how forgettable this movie is. It's junk food of the purest kind. Just, I guess if you have a nostalgic attachment to it because you saw it as a kid, you might still have a soft spot for this. But for someone, by the time I saw this movie in theaters back then, I was 15 by that point, I think. So I was already a bit too old to get it emotionally. I was already too old to be fooled by this movie's blandness. So it's not even that bad. It's just, as Jeremy Johns would say, I've forgotten it in T minus. Yeah, forgot about it already.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Dwibs.
Honestly, I'll go further. I think this one's mostly because of its extremely quick. The pacing's way too. It can't. It's like this film was meant to go on for longer.
Yeah.
But they run out of time, or Warner Brothers all the stuff to be cut out.
Oh,
so
good.
It's
Justice. It's the foreshadowing of Justice League. Boom.
Warner Brothers is run by Monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well. Then again, they managed to put out films like Mad Max Fury Road and that stuff. So
Honestly, Dwebs, I would credit that to George, not so much. That movie is great despite Warner Brothers, not because of them.
I mean, to be fair, Warner Brothers are not always known for all their bad stuff.
Compromise, 2/3 of them are money.
yeah, well, remember apparently the production of that film was getting a bit out of control budget-wise, so they sent an executive there to tell them, okay, you're spending too much. If you don't spend enough.
Yeah.
I guess. Sure.
All right. But yeah, overall, this was not one of Warner Brothers' brightest moments. I think the late 90s in general were really a bad period for Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, the DC films were failing on their art. Steel and Batman and Robin and all that.
Yeah.
And even stretching into the early 2000s, they were really struggling with. Well, they had Harry Potter, yes, and their New Line, and their sister company New Line Cinema did Lord of the Rings. But then Warner Brothers had such wonderful box office success stories, such as Pluto Nash and what was that? Osmosis Jones.
Yes, Osmosis Jones.
Yeah, basically,
Not a fan.
WB had like the had like the box office touch of death around this.
Yeah.
Unless it was Harry Potter, but yeah, overall this film just stinks.
All right, you're
Tail?
done. Yeah, this was bad. Like, not even joking around it. There's very little that you can actually make out of this movie, and it's a shame because, one, it's the Arthurian Cycle. The fact alone that you're managing to fuck up something is that on such a constant basis. Yet, it's like Joe said, the original tale is not that great to begin with. It's simple, a bit too grimdark, and at the end of it just serves from some Christianity pandering, I guess, with the Holy Grail. But it's still a charming and still a simple way to tell not necessarily a fairy tale, but some other simple themes like fraternity and kinship, I guess. But the point being, almost all of the adaptations that they made constantly screwing up something or other, and this one being one of the worst. It's just so overwhelming, and the fact that this one does almost everything wrong, with all these new original characters do not steal, that quite frankly don't even do that much, like when you think about it.
No.
Kaylee major contribution is dodging at the last second for the lucky blow. The blind guy, yeah, he does some stuff here and there, but very minimal. Most of the positive outcome comes because of the fact that the villain is an idiot. So this is just a mess. Don't maybe watch it one time if you're really curious, but otherwise just avoid it and just listen to the songs on your own. You're gonna have a better time on that.
It's the Code Geass of animated.
No.
Code Geass
It's not nearly that disorienting.
Decent music, if I had to ask me. But
Tell me
go ahead,
about it.
Jova.
Yeah, folks, what can I say? This, to me, is little more than a glorified music video, because the music is the only thing of value, well, the only thing of complete value here. See, while this movie is overall bland, I think the main issue I have with it is the fact that it blatantly wastes the potential right in your face. Like, well, most times the problem is like, oh, they could have done this plot, but they didn't even try. Here, they actually do try and do some things, but they don't do what would have been the easier thing. It's like they're going out of their way to do the hard way of being bland. Like I said before, the villain could have easily just been Mordred. Mordred's like crazy insane too. Make him Mordred. That would make more sense.
And Jova, it actually wouldn't make sense for him to add the potion because Morgana is technically his mother. So
yeah, Morgan Le Fay. And and again, why not have the story be more about King Arthur? Like, it's the quest for Camelot.
Yeah, again, the Knights of the Round Table are not used and they don't even have any personal traits. They're just generic people. King Arthur is useless. Merlin is just this figure that doesn't do anything, and in the end he's like, oh yes, it was all my master plan all along.
And you know what's also weird? For a character who wants to be a knight in a place where only men can be knights, Kaylee has little to no struggle. Like, It's just silly me. I thought that she'd have to maybe face some struggles from people scoffing at the idea of her being a knight, but at best we get her mother telling her not to get her hopes up. Like, well, we don't even really see much of a struggle for her getting acceptance. I mean, maybe that would be nice, except for the fact that it's the Dark Ages. And I get it, Camelot is fictional, but, isn't it kind of a usual thing in these kinds of settings? Especially since she's the first knight anyway to be a woman, so... Yeah, I mean, you kind of wasted a perfectly good plot there. I mean, sure, it might have been a ripoff of Mulan, but at least it would have had more flesh to her because, yeah, essentially, this thing is bare bones. Like, I mean, it's so bare bones that it's almost like you can make a game out of how bare bones it is. Like, plots just, like, seriously, plot elements just zoom by quickly with little to no frustration whatsoever, and the characters barely reflect on it themselves.
Yeah.
And the animation. Okay, the animation is inconsistent. Sometimes it's looking like it could be good discount Disney bouts, whereas the other bouts it's looking like less for. It's like even worse than TV budget stuff at the time. Like again, maybe they were trying to cut corners in some areas, but if you're trying to cut corners in some areas, have it be more in the background than you did with this one. Like holy cow! And yeah, what. Again, like I said before, they wasted a perfectly good plot too many times to count. The dialogue is loopy, insane, makes little to no sense, as do the character motivations. And it's like, this movie has no passion, no foresight, no long-term goal. Like,
No.
I mean, honestly, what was even the goal here? I get it, so you could say easily, to be like Disney, yet this movie doesn't even feel like it because Warner Brothers themselves just as much kind of didn't seem to really care about it in the first place. It's like they were contractually obligated to try and be like Disney because, hey, everyone else was doing it. The funny thing is that one of those knockoff Disney princesses, Anastasia, may officially become a Disney princess when Disney buys Fox. The point being, though, this movie is lackluster as all heck. Again, get the soundtrack if you want to enjoy it properly. If you dare to watch this, have friends, maybe it, do something to liven the mood.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, this was... I mean, I would call this a noble failure if it felt like they actually put effort into something other than the music. But sure, I'll title it Noble Failure in Music and whatnot.
That's the basic gist of it.
Well, folks, that was... Wait, what did we just watch?
Exactly.
Like
Quest,
already
Quest for
forgot.
Padding?
Yeah, that was Quest for
Quest
Padding.
for Paddington.
If anyone legit enjoys this film, more power to you. By all means, let us know in the comment section what you find great about this movie. Bonus points if it's nostalgia.
We'll see you for, I guess, another one of these eventually.
See you, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.